Hashtag is in the know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Look back on a busy weekend. That and a whole lot more coming up today. You're on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. Here's my beautiful wife, the beautiful Zoe. It's Phoebe. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. I've had a good morning.
You have?
I have. I've had a good morning.
That's good.
Yes.
Next to final day of school for
Yes.
Grayson County students today.
Yay.
So I know there's a lot of excitement for that. Field day for ours.
Yes.
Or as I was debating with her, playground day. But that's neither here nor there. Do you have a new hat?
I do.
You do have a new hat?
I do.
I saw a new hat over there that looks like it's your perfect color.
Yes, it is.
And it's a PGA Championship hat in your what we call Tiffany blue,
Yes.
which is perhaps not your favorite color, but one of your most favorite
It's
colors.
one of my most favorite
You know, the
colors.
greens are typically your favorites. But then next to it seemed like maybe you liked the hat next to it maybe more than you liked your hat.
Absolutely. It's one of the cutest things I've ever seen.
Okay, well, no one tell Brady that he's
Yes.
got a PGA Championship hat because he hasn't seen it yet. And I wasn't going to show it, but then when you brought it to the studio, it kind of gave me the idea that maybe you were awfully proud of it.
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah?
Yes. Well, and I didn't know what we were going to talk about, but yes.
You and Brady watched a little golf on
Yes.
Thursday
Yes.
in the backyard watching
We
golf.
did.
So yeah,
Yes.
he was glued to the championship all
Yes.
weekend. So you all will look good in your hats. By the way, I have one, and it looks almost exactly like Brady's. So he is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newswalk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley, and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
Not too bad. Did you have a good weekend? A lot to keep track of.
It was busy. Busy. It's busy
Sorry,
weekend and a busy week.
Yeah, I saw you momentarily on Saturday, over the course of what was a busy weekend. Busy week because I'm going to ask you in a few minutes about our coverage. I know we've got softball for you today, a double dose of softball today. And we're rolling in. This is Memorial Day week. Schools are going to wrap up tomorrow. We go into the Memorial Day weekend, and the procession and ceremony for Memorial Day is Saturday morning. Some people get that mixed up. It's not on Memorial Day. It's on the Saturday before Memorial Day. Grayson County High School graduation is on Friday night, so we'll be involved in coverage of that. So it's going to be a busy week, and it's not like this last weekend was. It was not a new weekend to kind of take it easy either. So it's going to be a busy week. You know, Memorial Day, kind of a mixed feeling holiday. It's the unofficial, start to summer, but it's a somber day because of what we're actually commemorating. But today dedicated to remembering those who lost their lives in defense of the country. So we'll roll into the Memorial Day weekend, and it's going to be warm between now and then. We may see near record heat to start the work week. We're going to see near record heat today. The high recorded in Louisville in 2022 was 91, and we could get into about 89 today. Mostly sunny skies, partly cloudy tonight, low of 67. Tomorrow there's just a 10% chance of rain, mostly sunny skies, a high of 89. Then we get rain chances roll back in midweek. And then when the atmosphere heats up, you got a chance for a thunder shower many days, and that remains the case for the remainder of the week, I guess, all the way through, looks like Monday and Memorial Day, at least some slight chances of rain, if not a little bit more. Art in the Park wrapped up over the weekend on Saturday, and lots of winners to talk about. Most importantly, the biggest winner is the Alliance Food Pantry. Raised nearly $7,000 for the Alliance Food Pantry, and that $7,000 goes a long way to help support families that the pantry is charged with supporting. But it was a great day. The spirits weren't dampened by being moved inside at Grayson County Middle School. It turned out to be a nice day, but you better safe than sorry in that regard. No surprise, I guess, that Paula Haynes won the Best in Show and Mixed Media. Brad Jenkins won The woodworking category, Paula Haynes also got mixed media winner. Obviously, she won her category and won Best in Show. Tim Lehman was a winner. Ava St. Clair, Catherine Howe, Caitlin Stevenson, Windows by Bags, Rhonda Frank, Chaley Logston, and Anya Nestor. Did you meet Anya?
I visited, and yes, I met and visited with Anya and her family. I
Yeah.
did.
Is that you? Did you make a purchase from Anya?
I did,
Okay.
for Mama Carla. So,
Gotcha,
and
gotcha.
it's a absolutely gorgeous mushroom window catcher. It's like sun. Yeah, it's really pretty.
I heard.
The screen
I
glass.
heard she was delighted that we were talking about her on the
Yes,
show the other day.
She
so
was. She was
good.
very, very sweet.
Good for her. The high school competition, Caspian Collard, a senior at Grayson County High School, with a piece named "Found It," won. Pomegranate was second place to Layla Bartlett, and Caden Stevenson was third place. Caden's a sophomore at Grayson County High School, where life begins, in third place. So you got to stroll the entire
did.
show. Did you enjoy
I
what you
did.
saw?
I did. I was toward the tail end, so I got there probably closer to 3:30. But yes, I was able to see all the vendors, and there's a couple in particular that I talked to that I remembered from last year. And of course, I have to see the tiny art section.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, so
Were-
talked to Leslie Downs for a minute or two.
Were people kind of thrown by the abstract theme? Or is
I think
abstract kind of
so.
confusing?
Debbie and I talked about that standing there, and I'll own it. I did not do a tiny art this year, and she and I talked about that, and she said that the abstract was a little bit more difficult.
I think it's kind of daunting to start.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Abstract. What is abstract? And that's the point. Just throw something out there and see where
Yes.
it takes you. That's the abstract portion of it, I suppose. So,
Well,
nonetheless,
I can say that I did enjoy your pork chop sandwich, so it was very
well,
good.
I'm glad that you did. I'm glad
They
that you
said
did.
"Is this one for Mark?" I said, "Yeah, I'll
my
definitely
goodness.
save it." And it did. I don't know that it made
I
it.
think you have something. I think you have something for me, Sam.
Oh, I
have a
do.
t-shirt?
I
You
do.
have something?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't be forgetting my T-shirt.
I thought he might be
No, and I had something for him too, but I didn't necessarily want your T-shirt as much as I wanted the pork chop sandwich, and
Okay,
I
okay.
think you probably would have done the same thing to me.
I was offered the pork chop sandwich. That's true, but I didn't. I didn't cash in on the opportunity and trying
So I did.
to behave. Yeah, that's all right. You need it. you need some extra help. Tomorrow is election day. I took the time to vote. I ran into Tanya at Art in the Park, and I said, "I'm so glad that I saw you." She said, "Why is that?" I said, "Seeing you reminds me I need to go vote today." And she was like, "Well, I'm glad I could be of service." And we had a nice chat, but went down to the Center on Main and voted. And so there's no voting today of any kind. But tomorrow, all of the voting centers and the Center on Main open from 6 to 6 tomorrow in Grayson County. Not a lot to vote for, but that doesn't make it less important. I was handed a ballot, and I had two races. There's obviously the presidential race, which is kind of a foregone conclusion, but just because the Haleys and the DeSantises and of the world have suspended their campaigns does not mean that they're not still on the ballot. So you're seeing some people who are deciding to still vote for them. You're seeing Nikki Haley got 20% of the vote in Maryland, got 18% in Nebraska. So people are still voting for them, but the nomination is a foregone conclusion. You've got a Senate race if you're a Republican in this district, so you can vote in that. On the Democratic side, President Biden does have a couple of challengers. Marianne Williamson is an author, and then U.S. Congressman Dean Phillips is on the ballot. So I feel like voter turnout is going to be low. Might be an understatement. I must tell you that when I went to the Center on Main on Saturday was that 11 o'clock? Because I saw you in
Probably.
the parking lot. 11 o'clock.
Maybe a little earlier.
There was only one other gentleman. There were three workers, and there was one other gentleman who went in ahead of me, and he was finishing his ballot when I got mine, and maybe a sprinkling of other people before I left, like maybe literally just like 2 people. So
Yeah.
I would think
We
that
talked to one of them,
that-
yeah.
yes, we did. But that time of day, I would think would be a little busier, but nonetheless, maybe the best news is after tomorrow, only 168 days until the general election. So the noise. I did think it was funny. The presidential candidates seemed to be hung up on one of the major things they were trying to decide about their debates is were they going to sit down or were they going to stand up? And I thought, this is what it comes down to. For the leader of the free world, we're going to get bogged down on standing up or sitting down for a
Right.
debate.
They probably should just sit down.
Sad
Okay.
state of affairs. How about wheelchair races?
Right.
That might as well. That would be more entertaining. Kentucky's seasonally adjusted preliminary April 2024 unemployment rate was 4.6%, according to data released Thursday by the Center for Statistics, which is in the Education and Labor Cabinet. Preliminary jobless rate was up 0.1 points from March and 0.6 percentage points from a year ago. Grayson County Middle School students, you might have seen them out and about around town. There's about 900 of them last week on what's being called Service Day. As a brainchild of Assistant Principal David Morgan, they spread students out around the community, cleaned up grounds at the middle school. They cleaned up grounds at Wilkie. They went to Bevel Park. They went to Grayson Nursing and Rehab. I think they helped in distributing food at the Alliance, and so they were just all scattered out doing good deeds. This Service Day platform is also a way, according to Mr. Morgan, to display to the community the good, the intrinsic value that's in all children. So I do think that it is I think it's a good time it's a good opportunity to harness all that together and allow them to pitch in to do maybe a project bigger than they're capable of doing themselves. So good for them. And
I think it's a great idea.
I think it was nice to see. A Grayson County Middle School student has won a statewide writing contest. Lucy Mudd is a 6th grader, won the 2024 KET Young Writers Contest for her short story entitled The Circus. So congratulations to her, and you can read more at K105.com.
Her little smile.
She seems proud.
As she
She
should be.
should be.
Yes.
Sawyer Drake's parents are proud. Sam, you wrote a really nice piece that you filed at K105.com. Sawyer Drake has revised his decision on his future.
Yeah, headed to Kentucky Wesleyan. So it's always good. His parents were really proud, and as Coach Jones always says too, is district championship, like that's really cool. 10-win season, that's awesome. Playoff win, that's great. But it's these moments, of taking the next step in life that are more important to him. Whether it's and for him too, it's not just playing football. It's going to college or getting a good job or building a family. Those are the things that matter more to him. So it's really good. And Sawyer's going to be tough to replace. He's been the starting left tackle, I think, since the Kennedy administration. It feels like for the for Grayson County. It's just he's been there, a mainstay.
One of the things that I really appreciated from the piece that you filed was Sawyer talking about how he used to be hard to coach, and it was his fault, and that the difference, the improvement made were because he started listening to people and forming relationships, and maybe decided that he didn't know everything, and he equates that to Coach Jones and all of his other coaches, but his parents too, to doing something different. And I think anytime you can be self-aware like that, you're on the road to right things. I did think there are a couple of things about Sawyer that stood out to me. One, he was probably one of the rare people that were going to make the move from Grayson County to Grayson because he was going to Kentucky Christian in Carter County, where Grayson is the county seat. People get that mixed up. And then, so he's going to Owensboro instead, be playing at Kentucky Wesleyan. And is there another alumni, soon-to-be alumni of Grayson County High School, that has ever been featured on ESPN Sports Center's Top 10, if other than Sawyer Drake?
I don't know. I mean,
I would say probably, surely not.
Yeah, because I still remember
Likelihood.
I woke up to a text message from you because I think you were watching when it first came out, right? You all were in Vegas, I believe.
Yeah, I did it. I literally did a double take.
Well, his parents.
They just say
His parents did the same thing. As apparently, I think his mom was still awake, but his dad had fallen asleep, and they were kind of going in and out of sleep. And I think that it popped up, and it was like, "No, we're sleeping. What was that? Rewind that. Wake
Yeah,
up!"
It seemed like a dream. Did they just say Grayson County High School on ESPN Sports Center?
And if my memory's right, Michael Leaves was the guy who did it, who is from Madisonville. So he like had some like extra oomph in there because he's obviously knows Litchfield.
Sure. So I've got a bunch to say on the PGA Championship, so I'm going to push that to segment B. So tell me about what's happening. We're presenting the entire softball tournament. Is that right? Or at least both games today?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the softball tournament today. So game 1 is Butler County against Whitesfield Trinity, which both of the games they've played this year have been outstanding. Very high scoring, so that should be really entertaining. And then Grayson Edmondson play the second game. So you can watch those via the K105 YouTube channel. Both will be great softball games. I fully expect it to be really strong, so you can watch with us or come out and support the teams in person there at Grayson County High School. Baseball, though, they play Butler County tonight at Whitesfield Trinity at 7:30. So they'll play that. And then track and field, they're in action at the regional meet in Meade County. So they're finishing that up from what they started last week with a pole vault.
I saw Amelia Hayes, she finished runner-up in the pole vault last week?
Yes, that is correct. She was the regional runner-up in the pole vault last week, and so the remainder of all of the events happens today up there in Brandenburg at their new facility.
Seize the Gray won the Preakness, and I didn't know about it until this morning.
Yeah, I forgot it even happened.
I saw the story and went, oh yeah, I was kind of enveloped in something going on closer to home this weekend. Vandy kind of spoiled Kentucky from claiming the outright SEC championship, but they are co-champs. And Ohtani, the Shohei version of Ohtani, had a walk-off single in the 10th yesterday. The Dodgers won 3-2 over the Reds. Reds have now lost 15 of 18. And then the All-Star race, the NASCAR All-Star race ahead of next weekend's big race. Joey Logano won the All-Star race, but then fisticuffs, Ricky Stenhouse and Kyle Busch duking it out in the pits after the...
It's a pretty solid fight.
It was a nice punch. Lots of two different groups, lots of pushing and shoving. Is all right. Gotta get to a break. We're going to talk PGA Championship. Plus, we got a gardening hack and plenty more on the way for you here on In the Know.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues. The Watkins Funeral Home Legacy, a steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwell. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at rogers-watkins.com or experience the Watkins difference personally on North Main in Litchfield.
Everybody get ready, time to start a new day. Let's hit the ground running in a healthy way. Take a first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle. Fit as a fiddle on a July night. I walk around town, make you feel alright. Take the first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle.
Community Health Partners want you to be as fit as a fiddle.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
For a limited time, enjoy a tasty bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, a savory sausage McMuffin, a sausage biscuit, or golden hash browns. Buy one, get one for $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal, valid for product of equal or lesser value.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
The 2024 Memorial Day procession and ceremony to honor those who gave us freedom will be held Saturday, May 25th, beginning at 10 a.m. The procession begins at the fire station on South Main and ends at the center on Main, where a ceremony will be held featuring local dignitaries and keynote speaker Warren Beeler. Free lunch and entertainment will be provided by Grayson County Fiscal Court. The 2024 Memorial Day procession and ceremony this Saturday begins at 10 on South Main in Litchfield.
The largest music publisher in the world, Sony Music, is demanding that tech companies steer clear of using its artists' music to develop artificial intelligence. Scott Carr reports.
I close my eyes and travel through realms of space and time.
Sony Music represents hundreds of musical artists, including Beyoncé, Adele, and hundreds of others on labels including Columbia, RCA, Epic, Arista, and many more. Sony says they'll enforce their copyrights to the full extent permitted by law. They've sent a letter to over 700 firms, including Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI, warning them to not use Sony songs without permission in order to train, develop, or make money from AI. The company claims it has reason to believe it may already be happening.
And users will soon be able to control iPhones and iPads with their eyes. That's just one of the AI enhancements that Apple announced for iOS 18. No additional hardware is needed, and the feature will be available later this year. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield, NBC.
Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing.
Today is Victoria Day in Canada. So happy Victoria Day to all those who celebrate. It's International Red Sneakers Day. It's Be a Millionaire Day. Just decide to do it. Just do it. It's Pick Strawberries Day. 'Tis the season. Like, strawberries usually come in early about right now.
No, this feels a little early
Did
to
you
me.
see how big those strawberries were at Mother's Day, the Mother's Day lunch? Did you happen to notice those?
I didn't pay any attention.
You were busy snoozing on the, well, you
That
all
was
were.
Easter.
No, you all were
oh,
laying
laying
out
on?
the-
Yeah.
yeah. And today is World Bee Day. Bee. Bzz,
Okay.
Bee Day. You know how to scare a bee? Okay, the PGA Championship was...
Really?
PGA Championship wrapped up yesterday. Xander Schauffele got his first major championship. He had won 8 times on the tour, been in contention for a major championship several times. Seemed like it was only a matter of time before he would break through. He's also an Olympic gold medal winner and will probably compete in the Olympics again this year. But he pocketed $3.3 million. He moved to career high number 2 in the world, secured his spots on the Olympic team for Paris, made a 6-foot birdie on the last hole that made half a trip around. I was before it went in, had some drama on the back because he made a big mistake on 10 that really kind of put him in that situation eventually on 18. Had a weird approach shot on 18. His stance was in the bunker. The ball was above his feet, and so that was kind of tricky. But that he kind of said, he chuckled to himself when he saw the ball. He said, I guess these are the things you have to go through if you want to be a major champion. Bryson DeChambeau played extremely well. He had a bogey-free round, closed really strong, was on the driving range watching, and if his putt had not gone in, there would have been a 3-hole aggregate playoff. I kind of was interested in seeing bonus golf because I just didn't want the weekend to end. I guess I also was kind of left with when I go back to Friday, I said, well, this will be the last major championship ever held in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, thanks to, well, circumstances of the morning.
You picked a good day to go.
I did pick a good day to go. Friday was an eventful morning.
Yes. It was.
There was the rain delay, of course, the tragic loss of life, then the uncertainty about Scotty Scheffler being involved in an incident with a police officer and being driven downtown, booked, returned to the golf course, got the brilliant legal advice to hire Steve Romines to represent him, and then went out and shot 66 on the day. Now, I think it caught up with him a little bit on Saturday. I think a lot of times you go through anything traumatic such as that, and sometimes it's days or perhaps a week following to where that adrenaline subsides and you kind of come back to normal. But then he rallied yesterday and put together a really nice round. He was the crowd favorite even before Friday because he's the defending Masters champion. And I wanted to see him go on, I wanted to see him have a chance at the Slam in the same year. I guess I would just offer, I know there are a lot of people that don't pay a lot of attention to golf, and you don't really know the players, but you hear there's a tournament coming to Louisville. By the way, I said a lot of people that don't. I was also really impressed with a number of people in my network that I saw that were there at various times throughout the weekend. I mean, lots of people took opportunity to see the 106th PGA Championship. The changes made to the course are great. I had an opportunity, to spend the day with my dad. And so that's probably the biggest memory for me, is that it'll be something that the previous times I had been credentialed media. And so, I was just there on my own kind of working, but to be able to share the day with my dad was great. We went down on number one and saw all of there was the afternoon wave on Friday. Tiger was in there, Rory was in there, Justin Thomas, Theegala, Tony Finau, Scheffler was finishing up. So anyway, I just saw that parade go off in the afternoon. That was just great to see and feel the energy. Now I want to tell you something about Scotty Scheffler. No matter what you think of him or you think of the incident, because probably none of us know exactly what happened, and we'll probably find out. And I expect those charges could have been dropped this morning. I've not been able to look and find out yet. But his poise and the way that he faced the media on Friday afternoon after his round, and he didn't point fingers. He didn't try to reassign blame. He just tried to account for what he did in the situation that he was in. But before he said any of that stuff, he said that his heart went out to the Mills family, who lost a family member in the accident then that led to the confusion out at Valhalla that morning. And so I think Scotty Scheffler did more on Friday. He probably is held in higher regard than if he had been holding the Wanamaker Trophy, because he sat there and he answered every question. He talked about asking one of the police officers at the jail just to sit with him and help, keep him calm. He complied with everything. He was seeing himself on TV while he was in jail. He's a champion for Christians. And so I just think that in situations like that, reveal character. They're not character builders, they're character revealers. And his integrity and his character was on full display there. And so I just think that he should be commended, and just way to go for him. So I think that he picked up a lot of fans. So were you able to know anything about the story? I mean, I know you've been orbiting around me this weekend.
I paid attention to the interview and what you came back and rewound, if you will, backed up. I watched all of that, and he didn't throw his name around. He didn't use that as weight, to throw around. I like him. I don't know anything about, golf. I've just picked up, but I will say that maybe my favorite sport that you watch, because it's quiet. But yes, I think he's a good guy.
There are birds. Chirping, yeah.
There's the occasional, and
That's
hey.
Right. There's some big roars yesterday.
No, he seems like a good guy.
Lowest major championship score in a major at 21 under by Schauffele. Sam, your buddy Morikawa made it into the final group yesterday, but he just kind of parred his way around until he picked up a birdie on 18. That was his only red number on the day yesterday.
Yeah, Scheffler was I put my money where that's who I put my money towards was Scotty Scheffler. So I knew that Morikawa, he wasn't going to do it because if anything, if I was going to put my money towards him, I knew he had no shot since last time he almost pulled it off.
You jinxed him last time. Is that what?
Yes, it's exactly what happened. But I was disappointed for you that you didn't get to see John Daly live.
What's funny is we were on our way to Louisville to the course, and I'm glad you mentioned because I was scouting out that wave of players that I just looked. Starting at 2:35, there were about 8 groups, and I wanted to see someone in every group. And Daly was in that timeline, but he was going off on 10. And I thought, well, I'll have to track him down somewhere because I'd never seen John Daly in person before. Mm-hmm. And I think this surely is my last opportunity. I don't know how many times he's going to be able to continue to ride his cart around, or keep his thumb healthy.
You could probably go to the liquor barn and see him.
Well, I don't really want to see him in that environment. I don't want to see him in a barn
or the wing restaurant.
Yeah, I don't want to cheerleader serving Al. I don't want to see him in that restaurant.
I think you have $20. He'll sign about anything.
But he pulled out of the PGA Championship even before the round on Friday. So as it turns out, I was not going to get to see him anyway. So
no,
it really didn't matter.
The question is, this picture that the AP provided for us, we can't see the face. So do we know this isn't you?
Well, it could be me. There's some.
I mean, don't you have those pants?
You know what the giveaway is, Sam? You know how the telltale sign that's not me?
I know.
What?
It's not left-handed.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
That's how
That's
you
a good
know
point.
that it's not me. Is that person is clearly right-handed. But
so you're saying you don't have those pants?
I do not yet. They're on the way. I did order them.
We may have to do matching if you're going to do it.
Without a doubt. You need the top and I'll wear the bottoms, and that'll be great. I really hope. I don't think that Valhalla is by any stretch the hardest golf course in the world. And it's not the hardest major golf course, but it was set up to where it got to be challenging. The rain was really in the players' favor because it made the golf course receptive and they were able to go low. But I hope beyond hope that one miscommunication, whatever it ends up being labeled as, I hope that does not ruin the opportunity for the PGA to come back to Kentucky at some point in time. The way that Scotty Scheffler handled it seems like to me should signal to the PGA that, hey, if he's okay with it, then we should be okay. And clearly the galleries were huge. The roars were energetic. It was exciting. It was a shootout. You had Bryson charging down the stretch. You had the best field in the world put together because the live golfers came back in. Been a rough 2 years for golf, but right there in Kentucky, it was on display. And so I just hope that wasn't my last opportunity to see a major in Kentucky, but I'm not convinced.
Well, and it's interesting because you're usually not a pessimist.
True.
I don't know that. I mean, yes, it reflects somewhat negatively, but he did what he did. But he responded in the best possible way. Everything was taken care of. It was respectful. I don't think it's the end.
The thing with it, though, is there's only one golfer that it would have been worse if it would have happened to, is Tiger. Yeah, if it would happen to Tiger, they probably just shut it's done, we're done, it'd have been the worst thing. Yeah. But other than Tiger, the world's best golfer, that's not great. It's not like this was the guy who finished 180th and, finished with went out there the last day and shot an 82.
He's the number one golfer in the world.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, not everyone apparently knows that. I do want to point out that even before play started on Thursday, and certainly before the events of Friday morning, I had expressed some concern that this was the last hurrah because the PGA promised it to the principal ownership group, the new ones, on their way out, said, we'll give you the 24 championship to help close the deal. But I hope they did the right things to compel the PGA to go, here's why you need to come back. The naming of all the holes, the amount of tourism, right? The Kentucky being on display just on CBS, on Jim Nance talking about Float Like a Butterfly and the Ali Museum and the Louisville Slugger and all that stuff. You said, and one thing that you said to me, honey, that I wanted to make sure you said, he said all of the right things.
He did.
I am waiting for the LMPD to say the right things.
Me too.
Because there's been a statement out there, but they haven't said a whole lot. They spent Friday trying to get their story together, and now today will tell the tale. He's supposed to be arraigned tomorrow if the charges hold. Let the man go home to his family and his newborn son. Just cut him loose and go on, because I think the hand of law enforcement was overplayed. I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong, but the entire thing could have been de-escalated. And I would wager a large sum that the injuries that are being reported would be minor by most of our standards.
But what about the pants?
That's true. I tell you what, let's do.
It wasn't these pants, though, thankfully.
Let's get Scheffler to just buy the man 7 pairs of pants. And that way, he got a pair for every day, doesn't have to worry about even doing laundry multiple times a week, just once a week. That's all it would take.
Can we make sure it's these pants, though?
But let's do this. Let's throw in those pairs of pants. Let's throw in a pair. John Daly won't wear those anymore anyway, so he can just donate them to the cause. I think that's a good idea, Sam.
I don't think I want to know where John Daly's pants have been.
Problem solved. There's no telling where they've been. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got the water cooler question coming up here on In the Know.
Smith Overhead Door is redefining entryways in Litchfield, where every click of the remote promises reliability. It's not just about opening doors, it's about lasting assurance. We offer a service that inspects each part, making sure your door system thrives. With our service agreement with inspections up to 4 times a year, we spot the signs of wear before they whisper a problem, saving you more than just peace of mind. Opt for a 2-year plan and the savings rise. Make sure you get out the door with Smith Overhead Door at sohd.info. We're not just opening doors, we're opening possibilities.
Living on the lake is a luxury. Lake homeowners have been supplementing their properties with the best quality rock, stone, and asphalt products from Scotty's Contracting and Stone for years. Scotty's Quarry has been serving our lake customers with cleaner, underground mined, pure limestone for driveways, landscaping, and construction projects. Our crushed stone products can also be used to assist in erosion control near waterways. If you live on the lake, contact Scotty's Contracting and Stone for an estimate on high-quality products and service at 270-259-5696.
Early voting in the May primary election will be available to anyone May 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 to 4 at the Center on Main in Litchfield. Then on Election Day, May 21st, you may vote at any of the following voting centers: the Center on Main on South Main Street, the Church of Joy on Schoolhouse Road, the Old Caneyville School on East Maple Street, the Falls of Rough Fire Department on Green Farms Road, the Rock Creek Voting House on Grayson Springs Road, the Clarkson Community Center on Millerstown Street, and the Big Clifty Community Center on Cemetery Road. No matter where you live in Grayson County, you may vote at any of these voting centers between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. on May 21st. Early voting is only offered May 16th, 17th, and 18th from 8 to 4 at the Center on Main.
Holiday World and Splash and Safari, our family loves you. But look, I'm trying to teach my kids there's nothing free in life. And then we get here and there's a lot that's free. Parking, sunscreen, soft drinks. We love water coasters like Mammoth, the new family coaster Good Gravy, and 500 drones lighting up the sky. But the whole ride home, all I hear is...
free soft drinks, free parking, free sunscreen!
Okay, I guess some things in life are free.
Get tickets today at holidayworld.com.
One Vision of Queen, featuring Mark Martell, is coming to River Park Center on Saturday, May 25th at 7 p.m. Hear the music of the legendary Freddie Mercury and Queen brought to life in this spectacular tribute show. One Vision of Queen. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and at the River Park Center box office.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather.
Plenty of sunshine in the forecast for today as we climb into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees for a high. Now for tomorrow, we keep the sunshine and the summer-like heat in the forecast with highs back to near 90. On your Wednesday, cooling down a bit as some showers and thunderstorms move into the region. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know cats sleep 2/3 of their lives?
Wow.
I knew they slept a lot. I didn't quite realize it was 2/3 of their lives that cats are sleeping.
I believe it.
Sam, did you see the video of Bryson tossing the ball to the kid?
I did.
That the guy took away from him?
I did.
I just thought that was another. I have not been. I typically don't like those live guys because I think, they ran off and I stayed here, etc. But I was impressed with him. He's kind of a freak of nature with his stance and his locked arm grip and his being long. I was cheering for him. I wouldn't have mind bonus golf, but I was happy that Schauffele won. But you could tell that the gallery was appreciative of Bryson, his energy, and then the way he closed down the stretch to have a shot. He's one putt away from being in a playoff. So if you've not seen that video of Bryson DeChambeau, he tossed a ball to a kid on his way. I don't think it was after his round. I think it was after the 9. I think he was on his way to 10T. And he tossed a ball to a young fan who was along the rope line. And as he got it, a man behind him jumped in front of it, put his hand in front of him and took the ball and started to scurry off. And Bryson charges over to the ropes and calls the guy out and says, "Give the ball back to the kid." And he waited until he did, and then he took off. And I just thought that was
And he meant business when he said it.
Yeah.
Okay?
And Bryson's
He
a big
meant
guy,
business.
too.
Yeah, he's stout. I mean, he's, Well, he's one that you saw the other day that I thought golfers were, like, frumpy. You said that the other day. Like, it was Bryson it was Bryson DeChambeau.
He's no John Daly.
He is the antithesis of John
Or
Daly,
Ricky
without
Fowler,
doubt.
who's on the other
He's
end of the
not-
spectrum when it comes to that.
That's right. Here's today's water cooler question. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win. You're going to text your answer to 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. Text your answer. Up for grabs, tickets to see the Kentucky Headhunters in Litchfield, June 1st, less than 2 weeks away now. Tickets are still $30. If you buy them at the gate, though, $40, so save money. Go to you can buy them from the Grayson County Tourism's website. Tickets are on sale. Maybe there's a link on their Facebook page as well, but get them before prices go up on June 1st. Here's the question. 1 in 4 of us have shopped online in this odd place. 1 in 4 of us have shopped online in this odd place. So 1 in 4 people. Where's the place? 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000.
Have you ever done it?
Yes, I have.
Has she?
Probably. I'm not with her 100% of the time, so I can't say. I've never seen it happen, but it could have very well happened, without a doubt. The weekend box office. If Imaginary Friend falls short of expectations, but still wins the weekend at $35 million. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes at number 2. The Strangers at 3. The Fall Guy at 4. Challengers at 5. I am about to tell you, spoiler alert, I'm about to tell you who won American Idol last night. If you do not want to know, then hit the mute button or vamoose or earmuffs.
Was it Carrie Underwood?
It was not. She is a former winner. She is not the 2024 winner. The winner was, have I given everyone ample time, Sam?
I believe so.
You think I've given? Okay. The winner is Abby Carter. I saw that one coming from a long way away, by the way. She's well-rounded. I have not seen it yet. I'll probably skim through it. I can't commit 3 hours to it because there's so much fluff in it. But the opening medley is a Bon Jovi medley that the top three contestants did, but maybe what we've overlooked. It was Katy Perry's last hurrah on Idol last night. So they did they sang a tribute to her. Let's see what they... I think I would like that. I'm going to definitely listen to that. I'm assuming she performed as well. They typically do. I think Lionel and Luke and Katie were all three going to perform. They had to do something for 3 hours other than read the winner of the last person. So she is the winner. SNL was interesting. The Jake Gyllenhaal, there were lots of musical numbers, and I don't know, it was a different feeling, SNL. The season finale of season 49, so SNL 50 starts next year. Sabrina Carpenter, who I had never heard of before until they announced that she was performed Espresso and Feather Nonsense. Okay, I mean, I don't... Poppy, and she's fine, but apparently Adele likes her a bunch because... during her show the other night, she was talking about she found herself singing that Espresso song from Sabrina Carpenter. She said that she loves her, that she's really good. So congratulations to Sabrina Carter, getting some love from Carpenter, getting love from Adele. Paul McCartney is reportedly now the UK's first billionaire musician. So was it a race between Elton John and Paul McCartney on who was going to get to $1 billion first? It could have easily been Elton John, but I guess McCartney owns such a huge catalog that it would be hard to eclipse him. And then found out Jeff Daniels did an interview recently, and he was talking about the infamous toilet scene in Dumb and Dumber.
Oh.
I mean, it is iconic in cinema history. He said it's one thing to read it in the script and thought, okay. But then when they got ready to shoot it, the day of shooting that scene, he said, well, this is either the beginning or the end of my career. he was afraid, like, this may ruin my career. But it was a movie maker, I think. Yes. We got to get to a break. We'll come back, see who won the water cooler question. We got Chart Toppers, Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, and more coming up here on In the Know.
What is human life worth? Does every race deserve to be treated with dignity? What about the elderly, the unborn, or the disabled? One of the most important ideals our nation has pursued for 250 years is the belief that all people are created equal. Yet throughout that time, we've struggled to agree on exactly how to define human equality. After all, we don't all have equal ability, talent, or intelligence. In fact, there are many more ways that divide us than bring us together. So how exactly should we define equality? It has to begin with this. For all people to be equally valuable, there must be something about every single one of us that is equally true, something that can never change. The value of every human being goes far beyond what we can see at first glance. Every single person has profound worth because every single person is just that, a person, not an animal or a sophisticated biological machine, a human being. You and I deserve dignity, not because we're a particular height, shape, or color. We deserve dignity regardless of whether we're young or old, not yet born, or severely disabled in need of constant care. Every human being has immeasurable worth simply because, as our Constitution says, it's endowed to us by our Creator. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Oh, it's been actually really good. I'm 81 years old. I'm a retired nurse, and I have found, I've taken it for about 5 years, I do feel better. At first, there wasn't a drastic change, but I found it really has made, a difference in my lifestyle. It does improve our quality of life.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer. And for a limited time, get 35% off your first order, plus $10 off any additional sets with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this special offer by using discount code BALANCE.
When caring for a family member, their state of health is continually on your mind. And when they're faced with a health concern, you'll do just about anything to make them feel better. Rest assured, their feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know all about your family's health history so we can provide you with educated advice. So when someone's counting on you to help them maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember, at Midway Pharmacy.
MP's Point to Ponder for today. What do you pretend to understand but actually have no clue about? What do you pretend to understand but actually have no clue about? I tried really, really hard to come up with something, and I came up with blank, and I'm not sure what that says about me. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
There are just so many. You came up with nothing, and I came up with so many.
Well, because of what we do, though.
I really don't pretend. I just own it. So I pretend. I just say, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of things I don't know about, but I don't profess to know them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I'm pretty open about, I'm not going to know it.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably good.
Yeah.
I decided, though, for self, I learned a long time ago, just don't go chasing waterfalls. Stay do the things you know. Don't get into the things you don't know. And especially when you have to come up with things to talk about and try to be informed on them reasonably, you learn pretty quick where the landmines are. Nope, stay away from that. Nope, don't go over there. And so I guess I'm just fine.
But I don't guess I pretend.
The water cooler question was 1 in 4 people have shopped online in this odd place. Those of you that are shopping online while at the funeral home, that's a bold move.
Hey.
That's not one I expected.
Okay.
There were some odd guesses. Sam, did you have a guess?
I put on the porcelain throne.
Okay. I bet that's more than 1 in 4.
Yeah.
What did you think, hon?
I wrote down the loo.
The loo, so same thing? Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the actual store, shopping online on that store's website while you're in the actual store, because you get there and you go, it's easier to just have them send it to the house.
Yeah.
Then you just check out
the
there
circle dot,
and you go
the
on.
red.
Yeah. So it's,
Yep,
I
I stood there and I'm like, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, I can click buy. They'll carry it home for me. I can walk out right now.
I'm not packing that.
I got it. On television tonight, I don't have the TV schedule for tonight.
Softball.
Oh, yeah, softball is on the TV schedule. What time does that start?
So first game will be at 6 o'clock between Butler County and Whitesville Trinity. So our coverage probably about quarter till, so about 5:45-ish. And then Grayson County will probably play about 7:45, give or take. But again, remember that game can't happen until the prior game finishes. So if it's 7:45 and the broadcast hasn't started yet, just go over to the other one and you'll be able to figure it out that way.
Selfish question. It's a split broadcast.
Yes.
So I'll get a notification right before the Lady Cougar game?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because then no offense to those other players, but I don't really want to see them.
It's going to be a good game, though. Butler County, Whitesville Trinity.
I'm sure other people do, but
and you'll be able to
hours of American Idol to sort through.
Well, you can listen to the great broadcasts at K105 Digital Production. I mean, Trey Cook is a directing machine. You got to watch it.
I am not a stranger to dual screening. I do it a lot. But I'm interested.
I think you even sometimes try screen it.
I like our kids. I like Grayson County kids. I don't. Hey, by the way, can I tell you something? I'm going to go long, but I meant to say it earlier.
Uh-oh.
So we got 2 minutes till the Moose audience, and they need to hear this too, but KSR starts in minute 45. When we were doing the story about GCMS Service Day the other day, at the top of the show, You want to know who I immediately thought of?
Who?
Mr. McGee. Because, you know, some people will say, well, why are they cleaning up the school? There are people to clean up the school. That's not how real professionals act, because maybe he hasn't done it so much recently because of his health, but I will tell you, throughout his career, you'll see him walking, and everywhere he goes, if he sees garbage, he picks it up and he discards it. It's not the custodian's job to do it. It's everyone's job to do it.
It is.
And so that's the sentiment that I think was hopefully being instilled in those young people, and I believe it successfully did. So I thought of that this morning, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss out.
I got to see him last week, and it was really good to see him. I'm hoping I can see him tonight.
Today's highlight in history, this date, 1927, Charles Lindbergh took off from Roosevelt Field on Long Island aboard the Spirit of St. Louis on the historic solo flight to France. Parlez-vous français? Cher is 78 today. She said she's going to celebrate by holding her pillow over her face. That's what she said.
I mean,
Jane Whelan from the Go-Go's is 66. Bronson Pinchot is 65. Don't be ridiculous, Cousin Larry. Mindy Cohn is 58. Tony Stewart is 53. Busta Rhymes is 52. John Party is 39. Gone but not forgotten. Dolly Madison was born in 1768. Emil Berliner in 1851. James Stewart in 1908. Joe Cocker in 1944. So KSR is on the moose in about 10 seconds. So just enjoy. You're missing Chuck Berry, School Days.
Up in the morning and out to school.
1957.
Not for long.
Teacher is teaching the golden rule.
That's right. Not for long. Just through tomorrow.
American history and practical math.
cannot wait.
You should have seen the suitcase that Alea drugged to school this morning.
We had to take the 2 frozen waters out before she could pack that bag in.
She was dragging her field day bag. It was-
Complete with a Grayson County Cougars umbrella. Like, it's, yeah.
she's not going to need something she doesn't have. That's for
No,
sure.
that's Mama Christie packed it.
1966, Bob Dylan, number 1. Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35.
To be clear, she has other water. So
It's
just
just the
to everybody
frozen
out there. Yeah. So I did not send her with 0 water. We had extras.
I don't think they're going to let them get dehydrated. That's my guess. 1975, He Don't Love You Like I Love You. And let's do one more. Let's get into the 80s. This is such a great soundtrack. From Footloose soundtrack. Denise Williams, Let's Hear It for the Boy. I like the chorus part. All right, MB's Proloism for today. I like this. You must be big enough to admit your mistakes, smart enough to learn from them, and strong enough to correct them. You must be big enough to admit your mistakes, smart enough to learn from them, and strong enough to correct them. MB's Prolo Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes.